Right, so what up guys, my name is Joshua and welcome to Boss Boys, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Sony Xperia Z3 and we're going to be comparing it to latest phones like the iPhone 6s Plus and the Samsung Galaxy S7. And keep in mind, this phone came out almost 2 years ago, but we're still going to be comparing it. Let's go right into this video.
Ahead of heartbreak, one step ahead of misery. One step is all I have to take backwards to be the same old fool for you I used to be. I'm only
The Sony Xperia Z3 is an Android smartphone produced by Sony. It's part of the Sony Xperia Z series. It's before the Sony Xperia Z5 and it's after the Sony Xperia Z2. The Xperia Z3 was known as Leo sometime before. It used to be known as Leo for some reason. I guess that was like a project name or something. And it was unveiled at a press conference in Taiwan in September of 2014. The Xperia Z series is mostly known for the cameras, and the Z3 is no exception. The Xperia Z3 has a 20.7 megapixel camera or a 21 megapixel camera and a 1.2 by 3 sensor which can shoot in 120 frames per second. It has this thing called the G lens which offers wider focal length up to 25mm. And if you're wondering what a G lens is, I'm going to explain some more. G lenses are exceptional not just for their superior image quality, but for the beauty of the defocused background areas. Basically, it makes things sharper. It has a 4K video recording mode which drains the battery, but I'll talk more about that later in the video. It has a 5.2 inch 1080p display on the screen. And I've been using this phone for like a few months and I've been using it as my main camera, and no one can really tell the difference between this DSLR camera and this phone camera. I'll show you what I'm talking about. The picture is a bit bright because there are lights here and I don't know. It may not look the best, but it actually is. I'll show you the next pictures. The Xperia Z3 is running Android version 4 or Android KitKat, but it's upgradable to Android version 6 or Android Marshmallow. Xperia Z3 is a quad-core phone with 3GB of RAM. And the chip it's using is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 chip which supports the 1080p display on the phone. The major difference is the quality of the screen. The Z3 has a 1920 by 1080p display which is 1080p, but the S7 has a 2560 by 1440 display which is 4K. The chipset. The Z3 has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 chip which supports a 1080p display, but the S7 has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 chip which supports the 4K display. Now the cameras. Now this part changes a lot. The cameras. Now this part changes a lot of what I just said. It like brings down the S7 and makes this better. The S7 has a 12 megapixel camera, while the Z3 has a 21 megapixel camera. The S7 only shoots in 1080p at 60 FPS, but the Z3 can shoot in 4K at 30 FPS or in 720p at 120 FPS. And last but not least, this also kind of changes things. The S7 has a fingerprint sensor, but the Z3 does not have a fingerprint sensor. Now I'm going to compare it with the iPhone 6s Plus. The 6s Plus has a 5.5 inch display, which is 1080p, but this phone has a 5.2 inch display, which is also 1080p. The iPhone 6s is a dual core phone, and the iPhone 6s is a dual core phone, and the iPhone 6s is a dual core phone and has the Apple A9 chip for the chipset. Come on, the iPhone has a 12 megapixel camera which can record 4K at 30 FPS and can record in 720p but in 240 FPS for some really good slow motion. FPS stands for frames per second. But the Z3 has a 21 megapixel camera and can also shoot in 4K at 30 FPS but can only shoot in 120 FPS at 720p. The iPhone has a fingerprint sensor, which the Z3 also does not have. So yeah, that is my comparison between S7, iPhone 6s Plus and the Xperia Z3. And honestly, the S7 kind of wins just because of the camera, but for specs, the Z3 wins. The Z3 is a great phone, and I'll be leaving a link in the description if you would like to pick it up. Also, if you would like to get your very own Evolve Clan mousepad, I'm also leaving a link for that in the description, and use code Evolve Clan mousepad in capital letters to get more than 50% off. Thank you for watching this video. Please drop a like if you like this video, and if you don't, drop a dislike. I can't force you to like it. And if you really like this video, subscribe because it really helps me out, and it's free by the way, so subscribe. Yeah, and I hope you have a great day. Stay fresh and peace.